Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Namaskar. This is Engineer Suraj Singh speaking from Bharat, India on this day, December 31st, 2021, last day of year 2021, Friday 4:17 morning. मैं सूरज सिंह सिविल इंजीनियर भारत इंडिया से बोल रहा हूँ। इस वर्ष के आखिरी दिन दिसंबर 31, 2021 शुक्रवार सुबह 4:17 presenting to you same talk of quality and safety as well as very important items of concrete specifications. Title, as you know, is regular, and this is today last talk of this year. Next talk shall be in year 2022 as long talk. I am calling it long talk because it contains hours. Civil field engineering, life engineers, concrete specifications, quality, AnnexSL of quality system, and red, silver, white books, that contract documents, you can say contract conditions, which are standard one, safety, health and environment along ergonomics, designs and constructions, methods of construction and methods of other activities, contracts, relations and contracts disputes, various organizations, and most important item that I consider in today's world is how to communicate, how to systemize, and how to coordinate. Without this last topic, communication and coordination, we cannot achieve anything, and that's why we consider quality in every act we do. Communication and coordination is a uniform topic applies everywhere. Whatever profession you are in, whatever work you do, where some intellectualism is required, communication and coordination cannot be avoided, and if you avoid that, you avoid your usual practice. You cannot do anything. You cannot survive, in fact. It is a survival success. It is, you can say, competence you get through. It's a medium of competence. It's a medium of standardization. It's a medium how to interact with others and how to think, because thinking sequence goes on with coordination and communication. And also another competence, a licensed type of communication, because you cannot do anything if you do not communicate either in talks or conversations or in writing or in whatever way application of intensive thinking. And also you can say having certain kinds of statutory basis or competent basis or consistent basis, and then to achieve most important world where I'm inclined to invest my time and my energies, and we can say that is called quality, and particularly in ours, and that is Bharat, India. I always try to find, not only now, before also, many years back, location of quality, address of quality, but unfortunately I could not chart it out. Don't know where does it locate itself. I don't know why, and I could not find that. It's not a dialogue. It's not assumption. It is practicality I'm trying to share with you. Because I consider as a professional, I consider as a human and a citizen of this country, and of course belonging to this earth. You may stay anywhere, wherever in this world, you are indirectly real citizen of this world, and real citizen means I cannot insult earth. Earth is my parent. I don't call Mother Earth because Father Earth is also mine. I use materials given by or delivered by earth to everyone, not directly but directly and indirectly. I cannot insult any material that earth gives me and also gives to this world. Earth gives us whatever we require, even this body we have. Everybody has this body, it is given by earth. We cannot deny this fact. Whatever food we consume, it is contributed by earth every day. Every hour we respire, we breathe. It's because of earth as a part of nature. Nature gives us whatever we require. We may not realize this fact. Sun gives us very important item, and that is sun rays, which contains lot of chemicals and lot of vibrations and waves which we can't manufacture. Rain gives us something that is very important, though it's not regular, it's continuous and for a short period in a year. Same way air, which is much more important than sun rays and water, because it never stops. We use this medium to survive, to respire, to breathe. And also soil on which we live, which gives us through chemical reaction, through water reaction, food products, vegetables, whole grains. We should realize these facts, and our body is a combination of internal as well as external world. When I say internal world, that means within body, when baby is manufactured or baby remains in process from day of conception to day of exit from that chamber into this world which we call mundane world. I'm just trying to rewind something. We may not say it's connected to engineering, but it is connected to universal engineering, not civil engineering alone. This process that I'm just trying to refer to is too significant to realize, because everybody knows it, but nobody pinpoints it. I'm referring all this to certain defined and established system of quality which cannot be declined, but we have dampened it, we have impacted it, we have dented it, we have indented it. We have spoiled all this. Today, I'm just referring to COVID-19. COVID-19, which has started in year 19 and it has crossed its infancy time through 2020, and also it has today last end, bumper end of year 2021. It has successfully crossed 2 years and few months, and also it is now quite strong. It has established, it has settled on earth. It has settled successfully because we allowed it to settle, and we had no potential. We have no encountering power to contain it, to combat it. This has clearly shown us that we are nowhere equality, we have nowhere in equality to this power, which is called COVID-19 on earth. We have to learn lesson from it, that unknown is powerful, still it is unknown. Nobody can claim today, on this day, December 31st, 2021, that one knows about it. Only speculations, only imaginary statements, announcements. Even WHO announces something which is not practical. We have gone through a turbulence in these years 2020 and 2021. And of course, turbulence continues, and we are now going to enter after a couple of hours into next year, Gregorian calendar based year, which is 2022, and of course which will intensify journey of COVID-19 into a very stronger position. We may say it shall go away, we may say it will not go away, we may say only, we can speculate only, we can assess only, but we cannot control it. It has its own charter, universal charters. COVID-19 as its identity states that beyond controls it is, and it is control of that power which has created it. It may be scientific creation, or it may be spiritual creation, or it may be whatever creation. But we cannot talk to it yet. And it is really very much upsetting and disappointing that despite having thousands and thousands of scientists and very, very highly qualified doctors, the world has failed in its approach. This also indicates that the world has not developed to that level as it should have, despite having high education all over. There is no deficiency, there is no dearth of highest degrees people have. People are decorated, people are qualified, but not to that mark where we can control everything from health sector, safety, health and environment. As I say, safety, health and environment, it is very much importantly linked to every disease because it is health issue, health on job, health on occupation, and health otherwise. We have seen that we have highest standards of hospitals all over the world, yet we could not contain it. There was some time when people used to say in the year 2021 that COVID is now going away. Impact of COVID is lesser, but you see, COVID listens to whatever we comment and we do. We can't survive without flights. We are so hungry of flying from one country to another country, from one city to another city. We are so hungry of using air conditioning. We are so hungry of using all modern facilities that we can't survive without that, as it's a part of competition to show to each other. But we don't forget that this competition is very temporary. Use of advanced facilities, advanced conveniences. Okay, you can enjoy life, but don't forget, health is more important than your enjoying. Your entertainment is less important than your health. Why we are facing this problem? You should understand that. It's an analytical issue. It's a quality issue. Quality of health, quality of life is related to quality of health. When we talk of quality of life in any country, every country, and also including our country, Bharat, India, it's not only quality of materials or quality of product, it is quality of life itself. And quality of life means quality of health is number one. If I'm not healthy, you're not healthy. Can you enjoy life? Ask yourself a question. You cannot enjoy life. If you are not healthy, you are not well built up, you cannot have strong phenomenon in your body. Your body is not resistant to all impacts of nature otherwise, internally as well as externally. If you cannot digest sun power, if you cannot digest rain, if you cannot digest wind effect, if you cannot do all that, if you cannot walk in sun, if you can't keep your body hot, you shall certainly find difficulties in your health system. And that's why I say safety on occupation, safety otherwise, safety in life, safety from these impacts of unknown diseases, and health issues and environmental issues. All these are involved, and of course ergonomics is support to these. People may say, what I'm talking about. You may say that. I'm talking about work. I'm talking about profession. I'm talking about life, because our life is significantly important to everyone. We can't run away from this. We have to bring this concentration into our talks. When I say quality, quality means quality everywhere. It's not only in work. Work is secondary, existence is first. We can say sustainability. Sustainability is preferred everywhere. We have to survive we have to survive currently. We have to survive future. Also, we cannot do anything, or whatever is gone, that is history. That's on records. We can't change it, but we have to improve whatever unbecoming acts we have done. For example, you can say pollution of air, pollution of waters. It's not pollution of materials, it's pollution of minds also. Try to understand this point, pollution of minds. What for mind is? Is mind for devaluation? Or our minds is meant for progress? Or our minds for refining? What for mind is? or our minds are meant for drinking whiskey, or our minds are meant for drinking non-veg, or our minds are meant only for drinking and having diseases. We should consider this. If we want to have good health, health is wealth. Everybody knows. If health is destructed, health is deteriorated, it's detrimental to yourself. You have to spend millions and millions to medical treatment. For medical treatment to doctors, you have to give money. This means wealth goes away. It's dried out. It's your wealth. So you can say if you want to keep intact in medical, you have to spend sometimes millions for some eradication of disease within you. What is that? Today, if you want medical insurance, you have to pay a large sum every year. Everybody cannot afford it. Even I cannot afford it. There are people who can afford it, but those are maybe 10%. 80 to 90% people of lower class, I mean lower class means income-wise, economy-wise, not because of money, because of, you can say, potential-wise. They cannot spend, but doctors, they have changed the entire scenario of health. Those doctors who are not in public service, who are only interested in higher middle class and riches, who survive because of them, I cannot call them doctors. That is quality degradation in medical science. Medical science is meant for everybody, poor or rich. It is meant for everyone. It's duty of state, it's duty of society, you can say welfare state or welfare society, or a kind of socialism, you can say. A kind of socialism which our constitution also mandates that everybody should be benefited, everybody should part state's economy, state's power, state's standards for good health. It's basic requirement. If you don't have health, we can't be safe, we can't be environmentally good. It's not my fault if environment is polluted, it's fault of every citizen of this world. In our country, we are all responsible. Environment is spoiling, environment pollution, environment putrefaction. Who is responsible for that? We all are responsible, and on top of this, we are those who spend money on petrol, on diesel, on air conditioning, they buy vehicles, and they are all responsible. I don't say don't use these vehicles, but why all time, every time, for everything, you have to burn petrol, you have to burn fossil fuel? It's destroyed the air. You're using petrol, diesel, which are products of fossil fuels, and these products also create byproducts, and which comes in name of ethylene, propane, butane. Likewise, plastic products, you can say polymerization of material. Carbon, hydrocarbons, you have CH3. Carbon values used in your fuel because of water effect, combination of hydrocarbon it is, we call hydrocarbon effects. And also same goes to further refinement of, you can say polymerized, or you can say polymerized material. Polymers we call it, and that is your plastics. Your plastic is very strong pollutant. Of course, it has destroyed earth. It has very tons and tons of plastics are created every day. And then we call of quality. Where is quality of nature? Means artificially we have destroyed, artificially we have spoiled standards that nature delivered for us. And nature is not responsible for destruction of that. We are responsible. I'm just diverting away from main topic of construction, because this is also a part of construction, that it is deconstruction. We have material for construction. We use concrete, we use steel, we use wood, timber, we use iron, aluminum, and galvanized iron, stainless steel, and we use also plastics. Pipes nowadays are generally plastics pipes. It may be low density plastic, it may be medium density plastic. We call it generally LDPE or MDPE or HDPE. L stands for low, M stands for medium, and H is for high. High density, medium density, low density. We use them, and of course, polyethylene, it is called PE, polyethylene, or we can say epoxy also is named. Higher, higher degree of plasticization means epoxy. It is combination of resin and plastic. I'm not giving you theory of that, but I'm just trying to refer what we have achieved. This we have achieved. We have achieved to destroy ourselves. We have achieved, we have done something, we have innovated for our own destruction. And that's what I say in my file. Where does quality exist? If we have already decided to spoil nature, and we have done it successfully, see, whatever is negatively, whatever is adverse situation, human is very successful. Human has been successful in destroying, particularly you can call it destroying stage of air, destroying stage of you can say water bodies, or we call sea and ocean, and destroying our rivers, and destroying our, you can say, soil. We have been very successful. We have been very successful in destruction of humanity by successfully producing nuclear bomb. Of course, when you say nuclear energy, it is different for purpose of electrical production or for some other purpose. But when it's a nuclear destructive power, which we call bombs, explosive bombs, it's the point that we destroy ourselves. It's nothing but, you can say, a work of devil. Are we devils? Of course we are scientists. They are scientists. But scientists is ready to kill people to people. We want to produce weapons. We want to produce bombs. What for? To please God or to kill people. Then if you want to kill others, how can you say you can help health, safety, and we can get quality? Whole advanced countries, all advanced countries, generally USA, England, France, and many more, China, many more, they always in search of business, of weapon. They are in search of investing money and doing business with others for this purpose. Survival depends on this, on destructive arrangements, address that leads them to such involvement. Destruction of humanity, you may call it criticism, but I say, remember, it is very easy to break something. It's very easy to break something, but it is very difficult to make something. You have to decide which one is preferable. We have to elect for destruction or breaking, or we have to elect for construction or making. For me, as a person, and for millions of yourself as persons, engineering is a world where making is done, where construction is done. Construction activities are done, and design is also a part of construction activity, because without designs we cannot construct anything. This point we have to realize. Design is the start of construction, and those engineers who understand this, they are better than those who don't understand it. Same way, health and safety are very important factors. If we have to survive, we require good health, and for good health we require good environment, and for that, if we want to use good health and environment, and we want to keep healthy, environment friendly, we have to be safe from each requirement. We have to keep ourselves protected all time with intelligence and not with emotions. I say quality is very expensive, very wide range issue, and we cannot simply say, because I am saying this quality, we have to contemplate on it, and that's the process of contemplation I have been undergoing. Contemplation means what I think, what you think. First of all, we have to analyze individually. Then it should be peer reviewed. What is analyzed? Maybe I miss something, you fill in, or you miss something, I fill in. And that's what we say. There should be no resistance in that. Everybody has mind. Maybe sometimes my mind is better than yours, and sometimes your mind is super. It depends. Intensity of mind I'm using. What intensity? Intensity means density of mind I'm using, though it cannot be weighed, it cannot be measured, but it can be valued. It can be valued in different terms, and responsibility lies on the person. And generally, engineers, whom we entitle engineer you are, this clearly states that you are a person who is capable to use mind. And it's not necessary one should be an engineer for. Engineer is particularly intellectual. Doctor is particularly intellectual for purpose of health engineering, for purpose of, you can say, health means your body engineering. Though it's not designed, but it is maintained. While other engineerings are designed and maintained and constructed, here is only maintenance in health sector, in medical sector. No one can construct any part of body, but they can maintain it, they can preserve it, and that's what is required. So we say health sector, safety and health are very linked one, because we say in our field safety is first, means health is first. If I am not healthy, I cannot work. I can't work. My bad health shall not allow me to work. And when I am healthy, I have to keep myself safe. My health is my responsibility or my doctor's responsibility, but I have to think of that. It's my part. I'm not paying anything for this, but I have to earn because of health. If I'm not healthy, nobody will give me job. If I'm sick every day, I cannot do, and I can't apply for job. It's not question of certification. It's question of existence, survival, and sustainability in life. When we raise question of sustainability, that we have to keep this project safe for future and to meet current requirement, that's real definition of sustainability. That is sustainable today, though it was not sustainable in past. It is sustainable, means it is practically possible today. Then we spend money only to our resources or what we get in. We cannot spend money more than that. And we spend money more than our income, we have to have loans, which is liability. So do you want to keep your life under liability all times, or you want to keep balanced one? Make a balance sheet, balance one. My health should not be a liability for myself and for my family. Therefore, it should be sound health, good health. And if I am sound in health, I am good in health, I enjoy health, then I can work successfully, I can work safely, and in work I have to be on side of safety, for my own safety and for safety of others. We can say safety first is that. It's not that is in priority number one, it is everything number one. Safety in individual life, safety in personal life, safety in family life, safety on job, and safety in public. All depends on health. And environment, of course, is important support for this. If work environment is not good, I keep myself in stress, and everybody does it. So we have to give complete contemplation to good health. It's not that we just use PPE and say it's okay. PPE is just a part of that, personal protective equipment. You say, okay, you have hard hat, you have safety shoes, you have gloves, eye or safety glasses, and you are okay, you are in safety. No, that's just a part of that. So much is involved in safety that we have to think of. Safety in thinking also is required. Safety in walking on footpath, on roads, driving. And now safety because of COVID-19, we have to be safe. I just bring in COVID-19 as a point to contemplate. Though it's not a talk point, but it is now no need of in talk because it's everyday point. You know what's happening in England, what's happening in USA, what's happening in France, what's happening in Germany, what's happening in our country. It's all, darkness everywhere. More than around 300,000 cases are reported every day from USA. Around 200,000 cases are reported from England now currently, and same applies to France, same applies to many other countries. Why it's happening? This means we are careless. You see, 80% people, 90% people in our country, they're not interested to use protective measures. We call them protective measures. They are not interested to use them. For example, masks. It's right time. You should use all time. You are located indoors or you are not located indoors. You are located outdoors. Mask is like your vision. Mask is like your clothes. We hesitate to use masks. When somebody should tell you use masks. Why? Why should somebody tell you? Shall somebody tell you use your shirt and pant or your trousers or your sari? Who says to you? Nothing. Who says? No one says to you. But you wear that. So if mask is very small item, it's very small item. It doesn't harm you. Even then, you avoid it because you are not used to that. That is something, not common for wearing, but it is protective measure. What's harm? All these cases are increasing because people have become careless. People have become non-serious. That's why it is so simple it is. We know COVID cannot be fought, cannot be thrown away from earth at moment, but we can use umbrella in rain. Why not use umbrella of mask? So simple answer. But I don't know, everywhere in every country something is happening. People demonstrate, people fight with administration. It's so simple an answer. I don't know why world public do not understand. And in our country, oh my, don't ask about my country. People are so great, they are so careless that they are only responsible not to wear mask. They think it's responsibility not to use mask. I don't know why this reverse. They are not happy to see them protected. They are happy to enjoy, talk loudly. And I have seen people who wear mask but mask hangs from their chains. If you talk to them, they laugh. This happens. Means I am a serious person. I want to see myself safe. I want to see my premises safe. But people want to interfere. I don't know, it's a kind of devil thinking. It's kind of devil thinking. You may be whosoever you, but if you cannot think of others, okay, you are happy to see yourself sick of COVID, but you have no right to let other person have COVID because of you. This point they cannot understand. They go on doing their way. And really I can say it's nothing. I can define it only as madness or a lunatic behavior. It's really very surprising sometimes why we behave like that. And that same thing we say in construction. We behave similarly. I have seen during my career many people, many workers who do not use hard hat. Oh, I don't prefer it, I don't like it. Or they don't use safety shoes sometimes. Means if you ask them, where is your hard hat? They think as something specific, something very special it is. Oh, I don't like to wear it, it's difficult. My dear, it may be difficult or it may not be difficult. It's not your choice. It's question of your safety. It's not question of burden. It's my safety, it's your safety. First of all, you have to be safe. I want to see you safe because you have to go back home to see your people. Do you want to lose your life just because of small hard hat? It's not very expensive. You want to lose your life because of this equipment? You don't have, you don't use. You want to have injury in your feet without using safety shoe. Likewise, we can say eye vision. You don't care for your eyes. Why? You think what's cost of eyes? You don't know. And what's power of eyes? You don't know. Power of leg is only on earth. Power of your hard hat is only on head. But power of eyes goes to stars. Do you know that? You can see star, you can see sun, and you can see millions and millions kilometers away from here. And that is your telescope, and that's eyes. Try to understand performance, understand scope of these parts. We have to know scope of our body parts. All parts have some scope. We have to define that. What is the scope of our head, our mind, our nose, our lips, our tongue? These have scopes. Communication is scope, for example, of tongue and mind. Tongue is a tool and mind is a director. Mind is a director, commander. What we speak is not because tongue speaks. Tongue is a medium. Tongue is a computer. And mind is hard disk. So we use that. And if you what you speak, what you don't speak, you have to decide during a speech. And that's what say you express what should not be expressed, or you don't express what you had to express. It depends. So it creates system of quality, system of announcement. Same way I can say it's the scope or role of every part, what our ears do, and what our arms do, what our palms do, and what our private organs do. All we have to see and we know. Same way we have to see what our professional organs do, what we want to use them, how we want to use them, for what we want to use them. Quality is something, it is everybody's responsibility, just like I say safety is everybody's responsibility. We generally used to say still that safety is first. Safety first. This means we have to remain safe. We are bound to remain safe. We are obliged to remain safe. We are duty bound to remain safe. Everyone. Everyone should be safe. Because if you are not safe, you meet accidents. You have to spend lot time and money on recovery. And it's not full recovery. It's very sometimes part recovery and sometimes it is part disability. Do you want to be disabled or you want to be able? It answers your questions. You want to be able or disabled? I don't need certificates for that. I need capability. And you know it is engineering that is involved in our life. We cannot do anything without engineering. Engineering is that world where development is done, performance is done. And we say in civil engineering particularly, lot happens because it is human based engineering. Of course machines are available, but ultimately it is human that uses civil engineering. It is workforce without whom engineer cannot do anything. Even if we can design using softwares, work can be done only by humans, and those humans are not well educated professionals. They are occupants, they are we call occupation or trade, and those trades are hard-working activities, not in purely intellectual activities. And without them, we cannot use any available facility because these won't be available. If there is no road, you cannot drive. If there is no house, you cannot live. If there is no train, you cannot travel. What I say, engineering is development and development is engineering. We have to think that way. When we talk of concrete, this means we talk of construction. This means we talk of designs. This we talk of contracts. And when contracts are involved, disputes are involved, and these disputes are not personal. These are professional disputes. Disputes may be due to money, claims, or due to something related to that. And we have to be professionals in every activity. And that's where I say we have to communicate first to ourselves just to see what I am doing. Am I doing right? That point if we consider, I think we can solve many problems. Investigate on yourself. Why worry about that? Why I cannot become my own inspector, my own investigator? Why I cannot become my own proposer and my own judge? We can be. There's no barricade on that. No law can stop you from thinking and communication. Communication to oneself and coordination to oneself. It's not necessary that what I say others should accept. Not necessary. But information much is that person to whom I want. This is address of this information has to go to. And if I can send that. My job is over. And if I can explain to that person, if that person listens, then you can say, I can get responses from that person. And that response and my communication, my message to that person, both in combination in many trials or many repetitions, same repetitions and refined repetitions can be done. And that process you can say it's kind of coordination. That's not defined as coordination formally, but that is coordination. And coordination means we have to move together on certain path so that no delay activity happens. And that's what I say. We have to be very serious about that issue. And engineering is full of communications and coordinations. And where this happens, you can say it means non-seriousness exists. World is different and life is different. Culture is also different. But humanity is not different. Body is not different. Quality is not different. We have to be serious about this matter. Serious in what sense? Serious in every sense. You may say that I am just talking. No, I'm not talking, I'm thinking. Remember, when I talk without a script, it's my habit not to write a script. And if I write a script and then I present something, that means it's well thought of, it's well planned. I don't want to use any more sentence which is not required. I want to use well-weighed words, terms only if I write a script and present. But now I'm just presenting using certain files only for reference. What comes to my mind, that is my achievement. It doesn't matter that I am a good speaker or a bad speaker. Question is what is talked of, what I am conferring about. Of course, it's one way, you're not responding, no problem. But always there is delay, there's a time to get some destiny. When I have no personal greed, avarice, I'm just trying to communicate to people what I think about and how can life be improved, how can profession be improved, how can quality be improved. Quality is a part of profession, or you can say it's a part of life. Both are right. It's a part of profession, it's a part of life. Quality means a kind of standard below which we should not go. Quality in character, quality in work, quality in society, quality in world, all pay, all work, quality in material, quality in process, quality in use of material, and how to standardize something. Why do we standardize? Only due to that fact that we don't want to go below that level, and if you go below that level, this means we have substandard work. It's very important issue that I have been talking of quality and safety, and I am at least happy that I have done my job, I am doing my job, I shall be continuously doing. No way that I stop it if health permits and if time permits and if people are happy. I have to do my job. This is my thinking. I'm not getting any salary on this or any benefit on this other than a little satisfaction that at least I am doing my responsibility. I am disposing of towards society, and not only society of this country, but society of world. Sometimes you say, it is very difficult, believe me, it's very difficult because it is constructive work. I've experienced that if you do constructive work, of course it is slow but gradual. It's not shortcut. Shortcut cannot be done in construction. Shortcut cannot be done in engineering because shortcut doesn't move, it doesn't go. It's only a kind of, you can say, desktop logo, nothing else. You can never move in shortcut. You have to move long distance. You have to walk. You cannot work successfully based on shortcuts. Shortcuts never help you. Help comes only from constructive work. Help doesn't come from destructive work. It's very easy to demolish a building. It's very easy. You just use explosives and demolish a building within minutes. But if you want to construct a building, it takes time. When you study, you have to read many books. If you don't want to study, books are like rags for you, raddi for you. That's what I'm saying. If you want to make some figure, it takes time, it takes mind. And if you want to rub figure, it takes just few seconds to rub that. You have to think what we have to do. And that's why I always refer concrete and contracts. I use this concrete last time I discussed with you, and it was continuation of discussion, and it was certain specifications we're talking about, and that was from you can say this was about concrete specifications, and it was, you can say, it is, we talked about pre-stressed concrete and of anchorages, jacking equipment, tensioning, and we talk of grouting, we talked about mixer. We are somewhere now, I can say, I think we dropped somewhere, right? I guess we don't remember where did it drop. And grouting, I think let's start that. Tensioning, jacking equipment, let's give way back. And I think wires and strands, we talked of concrete, pre-stressed concrete, wires and strands, I forget actually, that's my problem. Let's say pre-stressing, here it is. Pre-stressing, pre-stressing operation shall be carried out only under direction of an experienced and competent supervisor, and all personnel operating stressing equipment shall have been properly trained in its use. In addition to normal precautions against accident, which should be taken at all times for whole of works, Special care shall be taken when working with or near tendons which have been tensioned or are in process of being tensioned. System of pre-stressing used shall be a system approved by engineer. Such system shall be used strictly in accordance with recommendations of system manufacturer. Under no circumstances shall equipment or fittings designed for use with one system of pre-stressing be used in conjunction with equipment and fittings designed for use with another system. We have studied this. Pre-stressing components shall be stored in clean, dry conditions. They shall be clean and free from loose thrust and loose mill scale at time of fixing in position and subsequent concreting. Slight rusting of steel which can be removed by moderate rubbing is acceptable, but surface shall not show signs of pitting. So we have done this. Located both vertically and horizontally as described in specifications unless otherwise described in specs. So we have done it also, leave it. Anchorages we have done. Jacking equipment, let us see what it says so that we can say that all jacking equipment used for stressing operations shall be of type applicable to system adopted. Jack and pumps shall be calibrated at an independent facility in presence of engineer. Before beginning stressing operations, calibration of equipment shall effect at 6 months intervals for equipment permanently present on site. Whenever new equipment is brought to site or equipment is removed and returned or serviced, recalibration of equipment as described shall be required. So all gauges, load cells, dynamometers and other devices used for measurement shall have a reading we can say we have to then go to grouting. I think grouting also we have done or not. Grouting shall affect only when effect with written approval of engineer. All ducts shall be thoroughly cleaned by means of compressed air and all anchorages shall be sealed before grouting. Ducts shall be grouted as soon as practicable after tendons. Ducts shall be grouted as soon as practicable after tendons in them have been stressed and engineer's written permission to commence has been obtained. Grout shall be injected in one continuous operation and allowed to flow from vents until consistency is equivalent to that being injected. Maximum time between mixing and injection shall not exceed 30 minutes. I repeat this. Point 3. Ducts shall be grouted as soon as practicable after tendons in them have been stressed and engineer's written permission to commence has been obtained. Grout shall be injected in one continuous operation and allowed to flow from vents until consistency is equivalent to that being injected. Maximum time between mixing and injection shall not exceed 30 minutes. Duct shall be completely filled with grout. Ducts shall be completely filled with grout, and vents shall be sealed consecutively in direction of flow. An injection tube sealed under pressure until grout has set. Vents shall be sealed consecutively in direction of flow. An injection tube sealed under pressure until grout has set. Filled ducts shall be protected to satisfaction of engineer to ensure that these are not subject to shock or vibration for 1 day. 2 days after grouting, Level of grout in injection and vent tubes shall be inspected and made good if necessary. Contractor shall keep Contractors shall keep full records of grouting, including date each duct was grouted and proportions of grout and admixtures used. Pressure details of interruptions and topping up required. Copies of these records shall be supplied to engineer within 3 days of grouting. Pre-stressing wires shall be protected against corrosion. Pre-stressing wires shall be protected against corrosion and other damage by a shotcrete cover. Coating by shotcrete cover coat meeting. Requirement of references AWWA D110 and ACI 372R. Grout mixer. Grout mixer. Grout mixer shall produce a grout of colloidal consistency. Colloidal. Grout injector shall be capable of continuous operation with a sensibly constant pressure up to 0.7 MPa and include a system of circulating or agitating grout whilst actual grout is not in progress. All baffles to pump shall be fitted with sieve strainer size BS14. Equipment shall be capable of maintaining pressure on completely grouted ducts. Equipment shall be capable of maintaining pressure on completely grouted ducts and fitted with a nozzle which can be locked off without loss of pressure in duct. Pressure gauges shall be calibrated before these are first used in works and thereafter as required by engineer. All equipment shall be thoroughly washed with clean water at least once every 3 hours during grouting operations and at end of use for each day. Contractors shall ensure that standby grouting equipment is available in event of breakdown. Grout trials. Contractors shall carry out grouting trials to satisfaction of engineer before actual grouting takes place or happens. Unless otherwise directed or agreed as a result of grouting trials, grout shall consist only of ordinary Portland cement, water and an approved expansion agent. Unless otherwise directed or agreed as a result of grouting trials, grout shall consist only of ordinary Portland cement, water and an approved expansion agent. Have a water cement ratio as low as possible, consistent with necessary workability. Under no circumstances shall water cement ratio exceed 0.4, not be subject to bleeding in excess of 2% after 3 hours or 4% maximum when measured at 18 degrees Celsius. I repeat, not be subject to bleeding in excess of 2% after 3 to 4%. After 2%, not to be subject to bleeding in excess of 2% after 3 hours or 4% maximum when measured at 18 degrees Celsius. In a covered glass cylinder approximately 100 mm diameter with a height of approximately 100 mm, and water shall be reabsorbed after 24 hours. Admixture containing chlorides or nitrates shall not be used. Admixtures containing chlorides or nitrates shall not be used. Other admixture shall be used only with written permission of engineer and used strictly in accordance with manufacturer's instructions. Grout shall be mixed for a minimum 2 minutes. Grout shall be mixed for minimum 2 minutes and until a uniform consistency is obtained. This was pre-stress concrete, a very important part, though it's not very common, but very important one. Now we go to testing of water retaining structures, which is very important part, and generally, as I understand, this refers to BS 8007. We'll see what it is. In this is a concrete chapter 19, part 19. In this concrete specifications, testing of water retaining structures. In this we have general, that is scope, references, submittals, general. In testing part we have general and cleaning. In testing process we have walls, roofs, disposal of water used for testing, and we have here now testing of water retaining structures, and this in general. This part of specification applies to testing of structures that are designed with intention of retaining water, and in this specification its related parts are general, inspection and testing of hardened concrete, protective treatments of concrete, and references BS 8007, that is Code of Practice for Design of Concrete Structures. Code of Practice for Design of Concrete Structures for retaining of aqueous liquids. Aqueous means water, or you can say. Now submittals. Contractor shall record and submit to engineer within 24 hours results of water tightness test carried out. In general, water retaining structures shall be watertight when subject to external groundwater pressure or to tests as specified in this part. Testing general. Contractor shall test water tightness of water retaining structures, including storage reservoirs and other miscellaneous structures that require to be watertight. All water used for testing shall be potable or irrigation one, and contractor make arrangements for supply and disposal of water used for test. Water retaining structures. Water retaining structures shall be tested for water tightness after completion in accordance with following method or as directed by engineers. Structures shall be filled with potable or irrigation water in stages not exceeding 1 meter in 24 hours. It's a point process, you have to fill 1 meter height in 24 hours. The structure shall be filled with potable or irrigation water in stages not exceeding 1 meter in 24 hours. 1 meter means depth of fill. In 24 hours, held at each water level for such time as engineer may require. That fill, which will be 1 meter, it should be held for certain period of time that engineer may require. Though is specified, should dampness or leakage occur, water shall be drawn off and defects remedied to satisfaction of engineer. In case of structures which are subdivided into individual tanks, each individual tank shall be tested separately. In case of underground or partially underground structures, testing shall effect before application of waterproofing membrane. Very important point. In case of underground or partially underground structures, testing shall effect before application of waterproofing membrane, liner material and or perimeter drain, filter material or backfilling is placed against walls. It says, in case of underground or partially underground structures, testing shall effect before application of waterproofing membrane, liner material or perimeter drain, filter material or backfilling is placed against wall. I am repeating it because there has been some confusion on some sides about this issue. Well, in case of hopper bottom tanks, this shall be taken to mean that no material is placed against vertical external walls of tank. Sloping walls of hopper bottom of tanks being assumed built directly against excavation apart from blinding concrete. No placing of material against walls shall affect until engineer has given written approval and acceptance of water retaining structures as watertight. Filling shall not affect earlier than 28 days. Filling shall not be done earlier than 28 days after casting of final sections of structure, which be stressed by filling of structure. Very important point to remember. Water filling shall not happen earlier than 28 days after casting of final sections of structure, which be stressed by filling of structure. Testing shall not be undertaken until structure to be tested has been completed structurally, including roof. If whatever and has been passed by engineer in writing as satisfactory in all respects other than water tightness, especially in regard to final finish of work. Notwithstanding satisfactory completion of 7-day test, leakage, cracks and damp patches and sweating visible on outside faces of structure shall be rectified from water phase by an injection system to approval of engineer. I repeat, notwithstanding satisfactory completion of 7-day test, leakage, cracks and damp patches and sweating visible on outside faces of structure shall be rectified from water phase by an injection system to approval of engineer. Repair making outer face only. Watertight wall shall not be acceptable. This applies to this applies to retested until water tightness is approved by engineer or achieved. Should a structure fail in test in above respects or water tightness, contractor shall immediately take further steps as such as may be necessary to ascertain nature and positions of defects or leakage. Empty structure. Number one is ascertain nature and position of defects or leakages. Empty structure. Remedy defects in a manner approved by engineer employing workers who are specialists in this class of work. When remedial work has been completed, in manner approved by engineer, testing and if necessary rectification shall be repeated until a satisfactory test is achieved. If necessary in extreme cases of lack of water tightness, engineer may reject structure or portions thereof. Cleaning all water tightness structures. All water tightness structures shall, on completion, be carefully cleared of all debris to complete satisfaction of engineers as follows. Shall be brushed down on all internal faces with a stiff broom while still dry. What is that? All water retaining structures shall be on completion be carefully cleaned of all debris to complete satisfaction of engineer as follows. Shall be brushed down on all internal faces with a stiff broom while still dry. All resulting debris removed. All associated reservoir pipe work shall be cleaned in accordance with specified requirements. Structure shall then be flooded with approximately 75 mm clean water. Whole internal faces shall be carefully brushed down with stiff brooms using water continuously until all faces are clean. Water shall then be drained off. Walls and floors hosed and flushed. Walls and floors hosed and flushed with clean water until perfectly clean. Let us repeat this. It says all water retaining structures shall on completion be carefully cleaned of all debris to complete satisfaction of engineer, and as follows it is: brush down on all internal faces with a stiff broom used while still dry, where surfaces are still dry. All resulting debris must be removed. Whatever debris, small pieces or big pieces or dust or whatever it is, be removed. All associated reservoir pipe work shall be cleaned. Whatever pipe work is there shall be cleaned in accordance with specified requirements. And you can say, you can then put water in that. The structure shall then be flooded with approximately 75 mm clean water, and this water shall be used for cleaning all surfaces. All internal faces shall be carefully brushed down with stiff brooms using this water continuously until all faces are clean and dust free. And after everything is clean and dust free and debris free and everything is, you can say, without any falling items or is complete free surface, water shall then be drained off because this is turbid water. Walls and floors, hosed and flushed. We have to clean means flush and wall. Holes out, floors hosed, walls and floors hosed and flushed with clean water until perfectly clean. So cleaning is done like you do in your home. Then you have to do testing procedures. So your tank is ready, your reservoir is ready for purpose of test, and you have to conduct test. Now signals are down again, 0 0 0 0. Thanks you Airtel for this. Is I trying to stop this this work of video live presentation. Some signals are there. Thank you again. What to do? Walls after completion and cleaning of structure and all associated pipe work, contractor shall till structure up to top level. Contractor shall fill structure up to top water level and leave for a stabilizing period of 21 days. Once you have cleaned all surfaces and you have just cleaned, if there is certain pipe work, you have to fill according to, as said before, up to top water level and leave it for stabilization period. And we have already studied that we have not to fill more than 1 meter in 24 hours. And after tank is filled, then you have to keep that water for 21 days for its stabilization period in order to allow for absorption and autogenous healing. Absorption and autogenous healing to effect. Water shall be added over this period to maintain top water level. This means we have to keep top water level intact. It should not drop. We have not started testing yet, just filled up with water. So water shall be added over this period, means top of water you have to provide. Water has to keep flow. Maybe water is percolating into concrete and some water is lost, so we have to place top of water on that. Contractor shall ensure that all pipes and specials are available in ample time ahead of testing. Contractor shall ensure that all pipes and specials are available in ample time ahead of testing. 2 sets of evaporation trays shall be provided along with 2 sets of rain gauges. See, this is different item which was not available in this way before, but this was provided in Qatar. Some, on some sites elsewhere, and evaporation trays were used for purpose of practically measuring evaporation, because there is no method how to measure evaporation. That's why trials are done parallel to testing of reservoir. Just 2 sets of evaporation trays shall be provided along with 2 sets of rain gauges. Labels in tray, rain gauges in case there's rain, is for that purpose. So we can also add water comes because of rain. So there are 2 items. One is evaporation tray, 2 evaporation tray, and also you have to provide rain gauges so that we can measure rain and that can be deducted from our calculations. that can be used in that. This rain came, so this water came, that cannot be given benefit of it, therefore that portion must be deleted from our observations. Two sets of evaporation trays shall be provided along with two sets of rain gauges. Labels in trays and structures shall be made and recorded by a hook gauge. Labels in trays and structures shall be made and recorded by a hook gauge with vernier attachment. Vernier attachment, where's that? Before and during testing. Before and during testing, flows in structure under drainage. Before and during testing, flows in structure under drainage shall be monitored, measured and recorded. Each under drain shall be numbered and observations reported by under drain number to facilitate analysis of data. All leaks shall be repaired within 1 month of their defect detection. All leaks shall be repaired within 1 month of their detection. On 22nd day, two shallow watertight evaporation trays. On 22nd day, two shallow water tight evaporation trays of area 0.4 meters square shall be filled with 75 mm of water and placed to float in structure. Says on 22nd day, two shallow watertight evaporation trays, size is 0.4 meters square, shall be filled with 75 mm water and placed to float in structure. Water level in structure shall be recorded in test commenced with and carried out over next 7 days. Reading of water levels in structure and trays shall be made and recorded every 24 hours over this period. If water level in tank falls by more than indicated by evaporation trace or other sign of leakage occurs by end of test period, contractor shall search and mark all areas of defect. Contractor shall search and mark all areas of defect. Structure shall then be emptied. Structure shall then be emptied and defects made good as specified herein. After completion of remedial measures, structure shall be refilled and tests repeated. This process shall be repeated until structure is watertight to satisfaction of engineer. Fall of water level in structure over test period of 7 days. Fall of water level in structure over test period of 7 days minus fall accounted for by evaporation and rainfall shall not exceed 1/500 average water depth of full structure or 10 mm, whichever is less. Fall of water level